We all know the scientific benefits of movement, of exercise, right? Or maybe I should tell.
Yes, in fact,
right?
you should. Yes.
So movement as a leader, no, it really will give you more energy, more focus because it's scientific. When you move, you get the hormones, the dopamine, serotonin, but definitely that helps or aids you with your focus and gives you more energy.
Hi everyone, my name is Marie Ampelocchio from Radix HR. We are here on Breaking the Mold, and with us is no other than someone I met a few years ago, and we have this dream of conquering the Philippines about how health and wellness should look like. Please welcome Joana Bertumen, the President CEO of 360 Fit Teams. Hello there!
So nice to be here.
No, actually, I'm so happy for us to get together because we've been kind of planning something.
Yes.
Right.
Something exciting.
Something very exciting. And although we will talk a lot about what your company does, because I am a fan of the work that you do and a program that we're cooking up together, which is Intentional Pause, I think the first order of the day is to talk about leadership sustainability. Joanna, sa Pilipinas, I know the kind of work that you do serves well talaga yung ating Filipino employees and executives, even the foreigners, so for that matter.
For sure.
And this is what I want you to tell the audience, like exactly what you do and what kind of programs attacks specifically yung burnout that a lot of employees feel nowadays.
Okay, so there's so many answers
Yes.
to that question.
Sure,
Maybe I'll
yes.
start with, I'm a big advocate of movement, especially for leaders and of course employees, no? We all know the scientific benefits of movement, of exercise, right? Or maybe I should tell.
Yes, in fact, you should, yes.
So movement as a leader, no, it really will give you more energy, more focus because it's scientific. When you move, you get the hormones, the dopamine, serotonin, but definitely that helps or aids you with your focus and gives you more energy. Plus, of course, remember what Elwood said? Right? Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins makes you happy. So it's the same for leaders. If you move, you get more endorphins. You're a happy leader and you can lead a happier team, right? That in itself helps you a lot with dealing with stress and burnout on your own. And it's something you can role model to your employees as well. So that's the first part, movement. It's a basic for me, basic well-being practice that you need as a leader or as an employee.
I so love it. Like when you were talking, literally I got goosebumps because I think these are exactly the information I want our audience talaga to hear. And so talking still about burnout, you run your own company.
Yes.
Like I'd like to also know, I know you're providing service, pero let's go inside first. Like what do you do for your employees? Because I'm sure whilst they're serving the needs of customers, they themselves have their own things to take care of. So how do you take care of your employees in 360?
Okay, so for us, it's really just about walking the talk, practicing what we preach. So it's also taking care of our own team, their well-being. That comes first. It's a choice that we make every time. And simple things like when we start meetings or when we start our alignment, our syncs, we always start with a well-being check-in. Just checking overall, how you are in terms of that. So we do that, keep an open and safe space for the team to be able to communicate that. We definitely promote movement, different types, because like they won't be in the same fitness level, right? But we meet them where they are and we give them the support they need,
whether it's where they are.
Yeah, like for example, somebody's fairly new, right? So hasn't been new to exercise, new to movement. So we start with giving them a steps tracker, like a watch. So they start with steps. If somebody's a little bit more advanced, then we encourage them to work out 2 times, 3 times a week. So it's that keeping that culture, like that accountability as well. So we can really literally practice what we preach to our clients and employees.
Right.
So that's how we do it internally.
Siguro sabi ng audience, we want to be part of that team. Like when you do check-ins to people, which are rarely done, but you do it kasi nga you want to walk your talk, syempre, di ba? When you do it that intentional, parang it gives the person a feeling of being seen, of being heard, of finally siya mismo magsasabi na, okay, if you didn't ask, I would not say.
Yes.
But since you asked, let me say.
Exactly.
Oh, and that's how you find out. Right?
Exactly. That's a very good insight. I mean, point, Marina, you have to ask. Because if you don't ask, then they won't know that you care.
Absolutely.
Right? Then it's all business.
Right.
But I like what you said. It's about being seen. So when you really ask about their well-being, that's what it does. It humanizes. It
does.
humanizes the workplace. It humanizes your team.
Diba?
You care about them as a person. Hindi lang about the work that they do, right? Or what they can contribute.
Plus, no one can, I mean, we're on Instagram together and we do a lot of things separately, pero seemingly similarly, di ba?
Yes.
You do a lot of exercise. I mean, if you are my leader, parang mahirap. Talaga kailangan I need to follow your lead because you do a couple. So if you tell them like what keeps you up and running this company, you have a family, to avoid burnout as a leader, how do you do it yourself?
So that one, I really keep a routine. So I do it first thing in the morning. So that's how I start my day.
Okay.
So even on days I don't feel like it, I think that discipline kicks in already.
Tama.
So that's how I start my day. In the morning, I'm done, and then I can go on with the rest of my day. But the second thing I will add, which before, as a younger leader, I didn't care so much about, is nutrition. So it's, I don't know if you're familiar with Keystone Habits.
No.
So when we talk about well-being, yung fitness and nutrition are your keystone habits.
Tama.
They are habits that you build other healthy habits on. So you have to start with them, they're pillars, right?
Wow.
So sometimes, even if you do your meditation or whatever, your mental wellness, but if you have poor nutrition, or you don't move, like literally you're sedentary, then it will affect your mental health.
Absolutely.
So that's how it is. They're keystone habits.
Okay.
So I started to think about how I eat as well. Because it affects your energy. It affects
reflects the way, I mean, she just glows. She doesn't have makeup today. And she glows. My God.
Yeah, it
affects
really.
Honestly.
Thank you.
Yes.
But, yeah, so before when I was younger, it's okay. I didn't care so much as long as I exercise. But now when we're, getting into midlife, then it really helped a lot.
Tama.
So how your diet helps a lot with how you are for the day, your energy for the day.
Can we tell them, Joanna, like what do you do? Like I know you run, you exercise a lot, but can we tell them like
my routine? Yes. So basically every day I do strength training. I run as well. So it's either or, minsan it's end. That's what I do. It's good to, I guess, strength training, I'm also an advocate for women, especially over 40. Sorry, can I just plug that in?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Like you lose 10% of your muscle mass every decade. So that's why if you want to live independently longer and age gracefully, strength training. Sorry.
This is precisely what we're here for.
Yeah. So so that's what I do. And then meals. So just trying to eat balanced, natural, avoiding processed foods.
Tama. Yeah. Right. And when it comes naman to mental health, is there anything that you do differently for yourself or for your team?
So for myself, for mental wellness, of course, we work on our spiritual as well, right?
Tama.
So our spiritual relationship with God, for those who believe in God. But apart from that, I know when to ask for help.
Tama.
So like when tough times really come, I ask the help of like a life coach. I have a life coach. Or sometimes I have my mentors as well.
Tama.
So I seek advice and wisdom for a lot of my mentors. I feel like leaders, they need to know also when to ask for help.
Right.
Yeah. So that helps a lot with your mental.
Yes. So let's go to, the company of Joanna has been in and around for like 15 years. And congratulations, man. I mean, that's amazing. Tell us what you do and how did this company come up 15 years ago?
So we started as a gym. So actually, like 2010. So we opened up to 9 gyms, just offering non-traditional forms of, fitness. But then we started our corporate business model 2016. So 9 years ago, and then shifted fully to a corporate wellness business model to today.
Right.
So what we do basically is we design programs so that employees can fulfill their long-term health goals. Because we believe that if they're healthy, they're more successful at work and in their personal lives, which is what we want, right? For employees.
Right.
So we design programs that's covering all pillars of well-being, fitness, nutrition. We focus a lot on movement and nutrition.
Right.
Yeah. So programs like team challenges, no? So helping employees build healthy habits.
Exactly.
office gym. So we design, we manage, so giving them more access to movement, right? All types of fitness classes, different workshops. So basically end to end.
Love it. On the fitness, is it management and or creation and or design
Both.
of both?
Yes.
Wow.
So
even
it's operating.
equipment.
Yes.
So if a
even
company,
equipment,
if some of the people would like to share with them that what you do is that if they have an extra space and they feel like it's a space for health and wellness, and they feel like it's a space that employees and their management can kind of give back to the employees, so you can design.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Actually, we'd love to be there from the start because we see a lot of when they don't, usually they talk to the equipment provider right away. So it's all trying to just up the revenue. So at least when we design, we can really maximize their budget as well, fit for their employee population.
Tama.
So
you probably want to find out what is the demographics looking like from an age factor perspective also.
For sure. Like currently, what are their fitness levels, right? So that matters eh.
Yes.
So
Galing.
Type of programs that you deliver.
I love it. Is there anything you guys are cooking up differently this 2026 and beyond? 2025 and beyond?
Yes. So cooking up? Yes, definitely a lot more programs for those working remotely.
Yes.
So I won't get into it now. It's in the works, but definitely something designed for a lot of the remote workers as well, right?
All right.
And of course.
Yes, eto, malapit na tayo doon. I'm leading up to that point. I love it. But before our special project together, is there any, because we've talked enough in our lifetime with leaders and business owners, is there like a word of wisdom or advice you can give them as far as health and wellness is concerned?
For me, make that choice to prioritize your well-being.
Without batting an eyelash, I love that you said, make that choice.
You have to make it's a choice. If you prioritize that, put that first thing in your day, in your calendar, treat it as like a meeting that you can't miss, with yourself. Then you have to make that choice so you can be a better leader. Whether that's at home, that's at your workplace, and definitely you'll be a more positive influence to those around you.
Exactly.
Like you.
I'm trying to be.
Like biking, right?
Biking.
Activities.
So
inspiring as well. I know. And I see it in your team. You promote that as well, right? They join you sometimes. So
from the time we started the company till date, we have Fridays are dedicated to.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
So it really helps. One thing to add, it really helps. See, that's it. Positive influence, right? Well-being is culture building. It's from the top down, right?
It is.
If your leaders prioritize that, then easier to.
Tama. So, before we go to our special project, we met 2 years ago in a cafe because you and my former, a friend now, but former teammate, Jeng, you guys met, was it on Facebook? LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's a pretty amazing story. From then on, we couldn't stop dreaming of being partner on something that is health-related, right? Sa totoo lang, dream talaga namin to get some, because last year we attempted to do something, similar title, we will tell you soon, similar title, pero it did not fly. Pero ngayon, we know better what formula could possibly work.
Yep.
So maybe we can talk to them about our program. It's called Intentional Pause. So we've been talking about it nonstop to companies and we've been pitching and I think it's getting good traction. So tell them some bits and pieces about what Intentional Pause is supposed to do.
Yeah, so it's really just about leaders. So it's circling back now to what I said earlier.
Yes.
That helping them make that choice.
Yes.
Taking a pause and then making that choice to prioritize their own well-being so they can be better leaders for their teams. Right? So that program covers everything. We have our pool of experts, the best.
Our health avengers.
Yes, as Marie calls it. Very, very nice. So from movement to nutrition to mental wellness to holistic health, natural. We have doctors, we have everything you will need to cover all aspects of the body, right? But what's best is that it's also very much aligned to their business objectives, right?
Correct.
So it's measurable. We'll make it measurable.
We'll make it absolutely measurable.
Yeah, so that there's no questions asked. The value for investment, ROI, etc. No questions, right?
Super bang on. In fact, Joanna, what we're trying to also do is our team should promote a 5th scorecard because it has always been the 4 quadrants of financial,
Process.
operational excellence or process, then people, and then everything that relates to compliance, BCP, DRP, and other special projects. And apparently, to date, and unfortunately, that health and wellness, nakakabit lang siya, nakaangkla lang siyang maliit sa people's scorecard.
Correct.
It is not in any way or form big enough to really manifest kung ano yung talagang central focus nito.
Correct.
So that's why we're saying there should be a fifth scorecard, which is the health and wellness. Kasi you cannot give what you don't have.
Exactly.
And you have to fill your own cup.
Exactly.
And if you want longevity, if you want talagang long-term, productive, happy employees, the happy advantage does not rest outside. It actually rests inside the organization.
For sure.
Diba?
Yeah, and especially now with the younger population, no? It's really different. They really are looking. When you talk about well-being, it really will also help your employer branding, your engagement. I mean, there are a lot of studies on that, right? As we know. That's why it makes sense.
It makes better sense.
As a fifth.
Wow. So there you go. I mean, Joana is no stranger to making happy employees or happier, productive employees in companies. And I'm sure, the men and women out there watching this particular episode might have actually come across her and her company. Pero there's still a lot of room, no, Joanna, for people to, some people just started with a small gym, pero wala silang team challenges. I mean, this combination of things can really work wonders for a company.
Yeah, I think it's different. Sometimes I think companies think it's as easy as, just putting in something, giving access. But it has to be really a whole design, from,
it is.
right? Like what will fit them, what solutions, what are the gaps, what are the solutions needed when it comes to their well-being or their needs.
Well said.
How do you measure it? How do you make sure, there's engagement? So it's a whole, that's where we see a lot of our clients fail when it comes to these programs, but it's definitely a lot more room for improvement.
Galing. So, just a quick question on 360 Fit Teams. You are present in Manila, Philippines, but are you also accessible to other parts of the world?
Yes, virtually. And then we're actually incorporating in Hong Kong. So hopefully we can be present physically as well, not just virtually in other places.
Got it. Yeah. And we have this dream of bringing some of the things we're talking about in Dubai, Singapore, and US. So that's something that's highly possible, right?
Yes, of course. Well, we have to make it happen.
Yes. Okay. Good. No, we've been talking about this, and I think we're forging ahead and moving forward.
Yeah.
So, and the last message, I love that you said, without blinking an eyelash, sabi mo, make a decision to make health and wellness a priority. Is there anything else we can leave our audience with?
For me, that's it. It's really just make the decision now.
Absolutely.
The sooner, the better.
Correct.
Yeah. One of the biggest problems that we have right now is we have a very sedentary workforce. So when we did our study recently, we surveyed about 1,000 employees. No? The average steps that they make in a day is 1,500. Can you imagine?
My God.
I don't know how many, I'm not you. Not you.
Oh, no, I'm sure. Yes.
But I mean, I guess like if you ask around, that's common, right?
Yes.
And that's very low because to be considered non-sedentary, you need about 6,000 a day. That's not even active. If you want to be active, you have to hit 10,000. So we're at 1.5, and that is why we have a big obesity problem.
Correct.
All the lifestyle diseases, right? More and more. So like just one company recently approached us, 15% of their population are borderline high cholesterol, high blood, sugar. And guess what? They're all 30s and younger. What? That's a huge number because that's 15% of about 10,000 employees. So they're looking into chronic disease management, lifestyle change programs.
Absolutely.
So this is common and it's not uncommon. Like they're not the first with that problem, but it's huge. I guess the numbers because of their population.
Yes.
So.
And because I'll dovetail to that. And I think 360 will be super busy this 2025 because there's a new law that just got passed. Because sitting is apparently the new smoking. And there is a law that you need to ensure that your employees really get up of their, in fact, even the dynamics of the sitting arrangement in offices that will be managed. I know not all companies will have the appropriate budget as we speak. There's a new law, but can you imagine it will change the dynamics of the work?
Yeah, for sure. And as it should be.
As it should be.
If we want to solve our nation's.
Correct.
Like we're increasing on an incline when it comes to.
Exactly. This sedentary thing. Plus, the thing that's very scary right now is that the interventions are so few and far in between. Kaya talagang I think one of the things we'll do is we'll make sure that they have access to you. If you can flash, siguro to Team Declutter, if you can flash the details of 360 Fit so that they can contact them. And of course, they can also contact them through Radix HR. How else?
Yeah.
Right.
So employees, so we're talking about the challenge of getting employees to
Participate.
start their fitness journeys.
Yes.
Because a lot of them would rather, especially with the traffic, no, a lot of them would be tired, would rather go home early, sleep, etc. That's the common problem.
It is.
So my answer to that would be, we understand that each employee will be on different fitness journeys. Some would be fitness enthusiasts already, right? So when you have a gym in the office, they'd go, no need to push them, no need to encourage them.
Yes.
They have that motivation already.
Yes.
But majority won't be there.
Oh.
So baby steps, parang ganon. So they're starting a journey, diba? So for us, number one, it's awareness.
Yes.
They need to be educated on why it will benefit them.
Right.
Because a lot of them don't know, right? And then letting them enjoy the experience. So we
Right.
start with little nudges. So for
Yes.
example, just desk exercises,
Yes.
right? Before their meetings.
Yes.
Or just little nudges like fitness games, right? In the office, with the price, always good to incentivize.
Yes.
So just nudges. Like
right.
we start with micro movements and then we
Yeah.
build on that, no? So even things they enjoy. So we also like to introduce. So for example, like sports fest, right? The common thing is usually cover the athletes, the ones
Right.
already play basketball, volleyball, etc. But what about the rest?
Exactly.
Right?
So usual problem yan.
Usual problem, diba? So not everybody can engage.
Yes.
So like for us, we try to be more inclusive. So we introduce games that everybody can do. So for example, dodgeball. Have you heard?
Yes, I haven't, but I saw it in one of my visits to States. Parang a reunion is doing like dodgeball.
Yeah, it's easy.
I know.
It's something you can do, learn on the spot, and then play games after. So you don't need to be a player.
Right.
Anybody can join.
Oh,
So it's just thinking of more creative ways for it to be more inclusive.
Joanna, one key question I think would be that would actually ensure that the audience really feels talaga the impact of what you do. Can you share like a success story or that you've seen with a few of your clients?
Yeah.
And the impact that your team has made in their company?
Yeah. So we have a lot, but I guess even our very first one, because some we can't disclose, but the very first one, even the very first one we did. So for Pfizer, we did for 600 employees, we did a steps, just movement challenge, just to get them to increase their steps. Because again, sedentary nga, we wanted to hit more steps. So even that, at the end of it was a 3-month program. They averaged 2,000 more.
Wow.
So that's quite a lot. No?
It is.
We were creative about it. So it's not just tracking, it's giving them daily challenges. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. And then we even went as far as mapping out, like if you will buy, your lunch or something, like how many steps to this restaurant, how many steps to this restaurant, how many steps to the parking lot, park farther. Just, getting them little tips and tricks to get more steps in. Because usually we avoid walking. I mean, right?
Absolutely. I hear of many. But
here in Manila, it's not a walkable city, right?
Yes.
So you have to, baliktad you have to find ways to get more steps in. Otherwise, hirap.
No. And what her team is doing is instilling more creativity out of it. Kasi if you just on your own, parang unaided with this information, unaided with this amazing nuggets of information, they might result to, the usual. And to be honest with you, I have, hindi naman pet peeve, but I don't want people. There was an episode I did for another podcast. We were talking about engagement. And unfortunately, Joanna, most of the engagement happens to be pinapakain yung employees, pero hindi naman din healthy food. Diba? And so that became a habit. No? We need to create new habits to conquer yung kinakain nila. Flash out na naman nila, diba? So that they can be healthier.
Correct.
Oh.
And you don't
Not that it's bad. Food is good, but sinasabi natin, go for healthier options.
Yeah.
Diba?
I mean, it doesn't have to be a total,
Exactly.
I mean,
don't be a downer. You can still have sugar.
But proper portions, proper,
Exactly.
and just more healthier options also.
Absolutely.
Apart from the usual pizza, pancit, etc. Add fruits. I mean, little things like that.
You mentioned everything. Yes, exactly.
Right?
Perfect.
It's addition, subtraction by addition.
Ang ganda.
You know, so you take out the
That's a
bad
moment for
habits
me.
by adding healthier habits.
Girl, I'm telling you, this is
a one whole episode.
this is
Yeah,
one
yeah.
whole episode to discuss it, no? So, team, let's get the longevity team in front of the camera.
Yeah, exciting.
We have a lot
Sure.
more message.
A lot more resource people.
At mas tingin ko, hitik na hitik. I mean, what you just mentioned today kind of siguro got a lot of people at the edge of their seat,
Yeah, yeah,
I hope. But there's more information to share, you know.
For sure, yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Exciting.
Joanna, right?
Hopefully we can revolutionize
Hoping
well-being in the
not only the
workplace.
Philippines, Asia, and then go bigger. All right, that's our vision. So with that said, I mean, this has been for me one enjoyable, amazing. I mean, we can continue actually talking about it, but I think we've delivered key messages. You'll hear more because Joanna will join the longevity team, the Health Avengers, where movement meets nutrition, meets cardiovascular, meets mental wellness. And I think this group is going to be like an iconic health and wellness group, not only in the Philippines, but in other places. So that has been, Maria Pelocchio and Joanna over here from Radix HR and 360. We're breaking the mold. Thank you.